Well, hello everyone. Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I am out here at one of my new hard rock gold claims. I have not yet been into this site. I'm here today checking out access, checking out what kind of mineralization I can find, seeing if I can find some gold ore. That's the plan for the day. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. So, reading the maps before I came out here, the road looked pretty simple getting up to the top of the mountain. However, I think I've taken the wrong turn. I seem to be going the wrong direction away from the mountain I'm trying to get to. So, I'm gonna go a little bit farther down the road just to make sure, then turn around, go back and see if I can figure out where I went wrong. I did miss a couple of left turns. One of them was probably the right one. Well, I think I'm on the right track. The road has ended. Well, not ended. There's a big slough here that cut off the road. Road continues over there, but I can't safely get the quad through. I'm not sure if the camera's really picking up how much of a steep slant that is, but I can't safely get through there right now without a lot of work. I did find 2 chunks of quartz along the way, indicating I am on the right path. I think what I'm gonna do right now is just abandon the quad for a second, go for a walk. I'm not sure if this road or the one above is the one I want, so there's still some exploring to do. But let's go for a little quick walk. Now, while I am walking, I am definitely looking down at the ground to see if there's any more evidence of mineralized quartz of any sort. That might not be a slough, that might be man-made. They may have actually decommissioned the road here. What a beautiful view. If nothing else, I'm getting a great day out for a walk, checking out the scenery, enjoying the outdoors. A little smoky in the area, not too bad. Almost past the rock outcrop here without checking it out. And I almost missed a chunk of quartz. So I am finding chunks of quartz along the way. Very barren looking quartz. Doesn't really excite me, but quartz is a great indicator of, you know, a hydrothermal or epithermal system that was bringing hot waters from below, depositing minerals, quartz being one of them, gold, silver, all the rest of them being the others, in the higher up rocks. Now this one actually intrigues me. It feels a little heavier than just straight quartz, so it could have some sulfides in it. The black lining and black vugs here are most likely a sulfide of some sort rotting out. Definitely feldspar in it, or no, it might be a carbonate. I don't have an acid with me to test. Something pink in with the quartz. That's an intriguing little piece for sure. It will be coming with me. I'm gonna leave those 3 on the trail right there so I can pick them up on the way back. And a closer look at the nearby rocks to see if that nice one had friends. And it's shady here right now. I don't mind taking a little bit longer time here in the shade. I'm in a really extremely hot and dry terrain right now, and this terrain is perfect for rattlesnakes. So I am watching the path in front of me very well. I don't want to stumble across one of them. Or if I do stumble across one of them, I want to, you know, see them from a distance. Look at that. Quartz with that same black, possibly sulfide going through it. I see another chunk of quartz. They're getting more prevalent. That's awesome. Definitely got some mineralization in the area. Quartz with sulfides. You can see the sulfide pockets. Those had little iron pyrite crystals rotted out. More mineralized quartz. Look at that thing. Some carbonates rotting out. Some carbonates or calcium carbonate or anything like that can dissolve under just regular rainwater, so that's why this is vugging out the way it is. We got some banding of some other mineralization in there. It's not really looking like a sulfide. It's not metallic looking, but there we go. There is a chunk of my gold ore. And this sloughed hill here is just littered with pieces of it. Another one there, another one there. So it's coming from up there somewhere. Well, I would love to get 100 pounds of material for an assay here, and I could get that from these slopes, no problem, easy. However, I would much prefer to have something that's in situ, in place, rather than the slough material. Even though I know the slough is coming from above, and I know the actual deposit is above somewhere, it would be best to get the actual vein itself. Grab samples like this don't really tell you the story that you need to know. But that being said, I'm looking at every one. Well, that was fascinating. I just walked another 5 minutes and haven't seen a piece of quartz, not a speck out here. And that tells me that what I found back there was the slough channel. So straight downhill, or where gravity would take the main quartz seam as it sloughed and brought it down, was all within that few hundred feet section where it's finding all the quartz. Over here, no quartz, barren, and it has been for a while. So there is little chance that above me is a deposit of any sort. Over there, where I was finding all the sloughed quartz, there's a good chance above it was the deposit. So heading back, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all that quartz on the road for now. Might take some close-up shots of it on the way back, but I'm going to go and see if the upper road takes me to something more appropriate for what I need. If not, I'll come back down here and I'll collect 100 pounds of the quartz slough. And because it is a nice looking specimen, nice looking chunk of gold ore, big enough to show the whole cross section of the whole vein, lots of vugs, lots of the darker material, which could be a sulfide, but probably not, some of the pink, lots of the carbonate in it. Yep, let's take that one back. I think I'll carry that beast back with me, just because I can. And this way I get to carry a big heavy rock all the way back to the quad. That's a nice thing to do. I see the quad. I may make it. My arm is sore. It wasn't that far of a hike, really. And just a little bit of a tip, when you're out in the wilderness, especially in these dry conditions, using something like a quad, I keep with me a spray bottle. And before I walk away or before I park, I spray everything underneath the quad. I wet everything down, just in case some of that ultra dry grass is up touching part of the engine that is really hot. Get everything nice and wet, cool myself a bit, and then just, you know, an added precaution to make sure we're not catching the grass on fire. Well, let's go see if we can find another road that leads up there somewhere. Well, I had to cut my trip a little short because I had ATV problems. I thought I fixed it, but the brakes are rubbing on the front and actually overheating. And as they overheat, they overpressurize the hydraulic system, which jams on the brakes even harder. I get to the point where I can't even move. It is so jammed on. So I figured I better limp the thing back to the quad. I was stopping every few minutes to cool off the tires or the brakes because they were getting so hot. I will be back to find more. I did find out where the road was that leads into the mine. I was actually on it originally, so I just have to go over that, you know, washed out area, continue on through. I was almost there the first time actually. So I will be back with a fixed quad and we will get more samples. I've got a little bit of sample material here I might take that down to Jason and crush it and just see what the little sample shows, but I want the stuff from the actual old mine site. Well, I don't think we can end a video like that. I did get a small sample, and I am planning to head down to Jason's fairly soon, so I think I'll take that sample down, crush it up, and see if there was anything in that small sample. We are not going to get a good sample until we get back into the mine, so let's go do that right now. Well, yesterday was a bit of a bust because the ATV kind of broke down on me. I did get a little bit of gold ore, but we got to go back when it's cooler and Dana and I can hike into that spot. So I decided today we're going to go up to one of my copper mines and see what we can find. This site here I have made videos on before. It is the Goncola copper mine, and we're going to go and check out the old mine site and get some ore samples from it instead. That's the plan. Let's see where it takes us. And of course, we decided to go up onto these hot, dry hills in a heat wave. The weather report has said that it could get up to 41 degrees in the interior of British Columbia this week. It's not that now, but it's darn hot. Hi, Dane.
Hello.
Well, the truck says it's 38 degrees Celsius out here. That's about 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! It's hot. We're here. I am absolutely amazed there's water in the creek right now. I actually didn't bring the high banker today because I didn't think we would find any water to run the high banker with. One of my goals up in this spot here is to take a half yard of this material and run it through the high banker and see what I might find for native copper, gold, pyrites, all sorts of stuff, because this material here is what they were running back in the mine, and it has a very nice crush. You can see mineralization throughout, all over the place. And putting a yard or so of this through the high banker might actually show us some free milled gold, native copper, exciting malachite, azurite, all sorts of neat stuff. So next time I'm up here, definitely bring in the high banker. Now the Golconda copper mine here is, well, just that. It's a copper mine. And everywhere you look, you see nice copper mineralization. Beautiful malachite standing in here. Let's get close up of those. Here's a great chunk of the ore. The chalcopyrite has oxidized on top and changed into a malachite. That's that green copper staining you see up there. And then the brown below is actually the chalcopyrite or iron pyrite. Might be iron pyrite just because it hasn't oxidized green, it's oxidized red. But there's the ore from the Golconda copper mine. Now I have tasked Dana here to go find the pretty rocks. Pretty rocks are usually the copper rocks here at a place like this. And while she's looking for the great samples, I am going to go and check out the old mine site. What have you found?
Shiny rocks.
Shiny, oh, look at the chalcopyrite in that. Same with that. There's a big chunk of massive sulfides. There's some pyrites in quartz. Nice work, Dana. That's what they were looking for. Massive sulfides. Beautiful malachite staining on this ore. I'm really regretting not bringing the high banker. I really want to know if there's gold here. I will next time. So this is a historic copper mine back to the turn of the century. 18 to 1900 type turn of the century. They had multiple mines on this hill. This one here is the Goncola copper mine, but just up the hill was the Copper King. Just down the hill was the Sunrise, and it was a gold claim. A gold mine. The copper and gold mineralization are throughout this entire hill. And lots of old history here. Lots of the old buildings still intact. There is an old smelter just over there. Just a little guy. Maybe just a roasting furnace. Not sure. I'll walk over in a second and show you. Lots of history here. And we're getting some real nice copper ore specimens for our website. I just went and got a whole bunch of gold ore from another mine. Now we're getting a bunch of copper ore. If you want any of your own mineral specimens, check out my website, www.danhurdprospecting.com. And all around, evidence of the old mining. This is a pile, absolute pile right through here of old cores. Mostly of the pyroxene magnetite ore here. This stuff has copper content to it. Low-grade copper content, but there is a huge mountain of this stuff. Magnetite in it, it's magnetic. Pyroxine's the green, magnetite's the black. There's also biotite throughout the whole thing, which is a black, shiny mica type stuff, and copper. And about a decade ago, there was a real push on a lot of these old mine sites to actually shut down the adits, close down, fill in the holes into the mountain so people didn't hurt themselves exploring underground. And right around here somewhere, I'm thinking probably right there, there was an old adit, but we can't even find evidence of where it was anymore. Love to know what each and every one of these buildings was used for at the time. Big, strong foundations here. Probably a crusher of some sort at this point. There is a trail, a significant trail going up the hill. Maybe the adit's right above us. Maybe you have to go explore. This thing here is an old furnace of some sort. It's lined with fire bricks, so they were heating something really hot inside it. Could have been smelting, could have been roasting. I don't really know, but a big iron structure lined with fire bricks meant for heating something for some reason. If you recognize the construction of this and actually know what it was used for, leave a comment below. It's a pizza oven. And I would not be surprised at all if right there was the adit and they just used an excavator or something and pulled the top down, filled it in. It does look like something has been collapsed in on purpose right here. I recently put on my website random ore bags. So it has ores from all of my different hard rock showings, mines, old adits, everything. Gold, silver, copper, everything. I wonder if I should put a chunk of core sample in each bag as a bonus. This is not high grade. This is a very low grade ore. But I think I put 5 or 10 pounds of good ore in and maybe a chunk of this just as a bonus on top. Everyone likes seeing cores. That's a good idea. I'm gonna take a bag of these. History. Oh, Dana just found railroad track in place, going into the mountain. Okay, I think we might be on track to finding this adit here. On track, yes, you're on track, railroad track. And I see something just up here that is intriguing. I didn't see that before. Right above these buildings, there's a plateau. And that might be where the railroad track is leading. Let's go check out, see if there's an adit up here. Just as I turned off the camera, Dana yells, "I found an adit." So Dana found it. Nice. Let's go have a look. Whew. Out of breath. Looking promising. This looks like the chute I found from above when I was driving a roadway up there. I found a chute. This could be it, or it could be where they filled in an old adit. I haven't been up on this little flat. Dana said she found something over here. That looks to be an adit. And a whole frickin' pond. We could pump out of that all day long. What'd you find?
Quartz.
Does it have copper in it?
No.
Okay, let's go check out the adit. Quartz is a good sign. Ooh, a hole underground is also a good sign. Nice. We're not set up for exploring today. I see tracks. Cool. But we'll come back here when we are set up for exploring and go have a look.
I know that cold air coming out of there is really nice right now.
It is. In this heat wave, there's a breeze coming out of the adit, and it feels good.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a successful trip already. Did you find some nice ore samples there, Dane?
A couple.
A couple?
Yeah.
Good. I have never been all that comfortable going underground, especially in these old mines. As I fall, especially with pack rat nests right at the entrance. But Dana's convinced me to go have a quick look. The flashlight doesn't do too much. It's definitely moist in here. You can see your breath. Tracks on the ground. That's cool. It means it goes for a ways. I am excited. Oh, Dana's coming with her flashlight. See if more light helps. Cool. Well, that is so exciting. That is the best find of the day, the adit. And we will definitely be doing a video going inside and checking it out.
There's another road coming up here.
I think I walked down that road from way above and kind of gave up at about that point saying it's going nowhere. But there's possibility of something over there as well.
that white rock.
A very cool, glittery, druzy type surface on this quartzite rock. Dana's just going up this other flat on this other side to see if maybe there's a second adit straight across the valley from the first. Well, I don't hear her yelling at it, so I guess she hasn't found one up there. But she hasn't come back, so maybe the grizzly bears got her. I'm more worried about snakes up here than grizzly bears. If you noticed a difference in the video quality on this video, I am experimenting with an iPhone taking video rather than my GoPro, just to see how it works out, see what the quality is like. So, you know, let me know if you notice a difference. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Dan, I found a really heavy rock.
A heavy rock.
Heavy rock.
Rocks tend to be heavy.
No, it's heavier than it should be. It's very black.
Very black, very heavy, like a massive sulfide.
But it's got a black shiny surface.
Okay, I'm gonna stand back, see if you can toss it down here to me.
Well, we know how that works out.
Yeah. Well, Dana found a big chunk of this pyroxene ore. Pyroxene magnetite ore. So there's lots of magnetite in it. Magnetite is very heavy. There's also a whole lot of this shiny biotite in this rock. This is the low-grade copper ore. Basically, this whole mountain in front of me is made of this low-grade copper ore. It is everywhere up here. And Dana found some more. Walking around these old mine sites is absolutely deadly. Everywhere you look, you have these big old nail spikes on these old wooden beams sticking straight up in the air. You stand on that thing, it's going through your foot. They're everywhere up here in this old timber. I try to find any I can, like this one, and then just, you know, well, at least turn it down. Pull it out, turn it down, do something so it's not so dangerous. But, you know, that's one of 100,000 on this site. And every once in a while we find these pegmatites up here, a sort of a feldspar crystal in the pegmatite with, what is this? This is a tourmaline crystals, I think. Black tourmaline? Probably. I am not positive those are tourmaline crystals. I could be wrong with that. If you are an expert on pegmatites, tell me what I got here, because we do find this in some pretty big seams around this property. I assume that railroad was coming along this ridge here and then just dumping down onto that ore pile. That would make sense. Although it may have been dumping back into that building back there too, which could have been a crusher of some sort. I don't know. Anyhow, there's ore everywhere. Yeah, looking at the tracks, they probably actually ended right here. They probably parked the carts right here and dumped into that structure, which is probably a chute that went down to the concrete foundations, which are just down there, which were probably their crushers. I'm guessing that's sort of how it all worked. Well, just because of that find of that adit alone, this has been a very, very successful trip. Unlike yesterday's trip where I wouldn't call that one successful. That yesterday's trip was a bit of a failure. I got some good information, but I didn't get to where I wanted to go. This is definitely a something. When I was exploring the road above, I saw one place where I think they closed up an adit, and just outside the adit there seemed to be a chute going down, like just a place where they dumped gravel. I'm guessing this is the chute, and that would make sense of why we see this gravel coming down here like this. And if I explored through this, we might actually find some ore. Let's have a quick explore. Well, looking through the dumped material down here, all I'm really seeing is piles and piles and piles of the pyroxene ore. The odd chunk of iron, an ironstone, you can tell because it's rusted. See if I can get that focused. There we go. The odd chunk of iron coming out of there, and no quartz. No copper staining. Nothing too exciting coming down the hill. I see what might be another section of track. Right there. Well, with this old chunk of track here, that pile, which doesn't look natural, I wonder if there was another adit right there. I wonder if that's unnaturally put there just to block off the adit. Track, a big flat open area, unnatural rock. What'd you find up the hill?
I went in around this corner.
Yeah.
But then I stopped because it was so overgrown I couldn't see where I was stepping. So that's always dangerous when you think there might be adits about.
Yep.
And then I went up the road and it circled around to this backside.
Right above here?
Which I think you've done before.
Yeah.
But I found a feather. And you know,
We should collect feathers rather than rocks because they're a lot lighter. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. We've given up on heavy rocks, and we're now collecting exotic feathers. And all of this working is right above those buildings. That big concrete foundation right there was definitely something. There's the statement of the day. Definitely something. There's a helicopter going over top. Frickin' awesome. The creek flows over a structure of some sort, or through a structure. I see over there a chute of some sort. This was the big chute that I saw coming down from the end of the railroad tracks. Something else underneath there. And the creek flows right through it all. Another piece of drill core. This is a different gauge drill core. This is a narrower. This is what, 1.25 inches maybe? Over there it was 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches. Cool, we'll have to collect a whole bunch of that for our ore bags. Great ore specimens. Look at that copper. So Dana found a bunch of copper staining in this debris here, looked uphill, and in the bedrock, in situ even, all sorts of copper staining. Copper rich ground around here, that's for sure. Copper ore specimens. Well, here's a huge pile of that low-grade magnetite pyroxene ore, already crushed up. It just glitters with all the biotite in it. Shiny biotite everywhere. Can I get that glitter? Sort of. Mica. Big flat pieces of mica. And that's a big hill of it. Wow, it is hot out here. Holy smokes, is it hot. Time to head down to the river, I think, and go for a dip. Nope, we gotta go down to the lower site first. Just dip this one in the creek there to see if it looks better wet. I think it actually looks better dry. Lots of copper, lots of biotite. I think I even see some sphalerite in there. Sphalerite's a zinc ore. That'll make a good specimen. The ground around here just glitters with chunks of pyrite, chalcopyrite, copper pyrite. It is everywhere. Everywhere we look, we see more and more glitters of the pyrites. Little pyrite cube. Well, that was a far more successful trip than yesterday. I got some great specimens. I found the adit. I found lots of new information about this site just by wandering around. And we had a great time out here in the heat. The ore samples I collected yesterday, I will save those until I can get back up to that site and get a good sample to take down and get crushed and see what kind of assay results I have. The ore samples I got today, go on our website for copper ore specimens. If you want any mineral specimens at all, check out my website, www.danhurdprospecting.com. Pretty much anything I find has something on that website. Well, I think I redeemed the video by a good day today, because yesterday was not so good. If you liked my exploring these old mine sites, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I earned your subscription today. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Let me know what you think of the new camera. Comment below. Have a great day, everyone. And until the next one, bye.